Yeah, it was a difficult one. First of all, I must thank the Mamelodi Sundowns family for receiving us well, and especially myself. It still feels like home, and I appreciate that. And from a match point of view, I think the red card that we got just beginning of the match did not make our lives easy. But apart from the red card, I have a feeling that we played very well in the first half. We maintained good shape and we could resist sensibly. And there were moments where I thought from maybe set play, corner kick, we could get something. But to be honest, we did not capitalize. Got into the dressing room and we felt, no, we're still under pressure, but the pressure was well controlled. Then the mistake again occurred. Second half, just as we tried proceeding, and we lost the ball, and then they went on. And I don't know how many of us had the privilege to look at the visuals, because to a certain extent, you don't accept it as a goal per se. Could it have been an offside? But you take it and go. And the lessons that you take out of this is not a loss, but a character that was displayed by the team. And we'll go back, then knuckle down, get into the third match of the league with this character that we got from this match.
Coach, given your history with the club, were there any kind of emotions before the match?
You have to detach. Emotions are emotions, and they come from the glue that you develop over time. There's lots of them here, and not only playing personnel, not only technical stuff, even support stuff. As I moved up here, I came across a lady who always used to give us food, Sis Aurelia. Says, Coach, I'm the present, and that language, that voice tells you that we're still home. And then as we are shaking hands at the end of the match, you come across Rivaldo, come across Musalibusa, come across Nkobeni, all these folks, the handshakes are the same. I have one belief of a handshake is coding. When you shake a man's hand, you tend to measure even the tightness, whether they have a thumb up or down. So consistently I received that over 3 years, and it became part of my life. Now when I came across this again today, it felt the same. So it then triggers the emotions that we used to share. Dennis Onyango as well, and all of the hugs. You feel, I'm still with them. And indeed, I'm still with them. They gave me 3 beautiful years. 3 beautiful years. And I also appreciate the fact that I had been part of this family.
Coach, did you set your team up to go aggressive in the first 20 minutes? Because obviously we saw some of that. I think maybe...
Mamelodi Sundowns was also aggressive.
Yeah, I get that.
And they were aggressive for 90 minutes. Maybe we were only aggressive for 15 minutes.
Yeah. And are you proud of how your team fought?
Aggression has to be controlled. If it's sweet aggression, it's well and good. And if it goes beyond then what the rules or the laws of the game say, then it is slightly reckless. I thought both teams played with great respect. Mamelodi Sundowns showed respect, we showed respect, and both teams wanted the ball. And there was a moment where I thought, here we are going to experience chaos pressing, where when we are in possession, we get pressed, and as we lose possession, then we press. So it becomes more chaotic, reminding you of a Pochettino and Klopp, Liverpool, Tottenham. You saw that. And under such circumstances, you need a very matured arbitrator to know that, no, this is aggression towards the ball. It is not malicious. So if you have that measure, then the match becomes competitive and nice. But I thought both teams displayed great aggression, which was well controlled.
Coach,
Yes, K.
Mine is a two-part one, Coach. You said before the game, this will give you a measure of how far your team has come. What's your report card based on that?
Yeah,
and
no,
also, before and after the game, were there any presentaries changed with Coach Rulani? Because at times it got heated on the bench, and obviously people will read too much into it. But
I was not involved. I was not involved.
Yeah, but then
I'm never involved, and I'm very careful. You know, because one thing that I do, Kay, no matter how bad and sad I feel, even with my family, I don't go out there to show the neighbor that my wife and I have issues. You don't do that. You gotta be extremely exemplary. The late Chris Hani said something very profound when it comes to character. And from his words, you learn a lot, that there are certain things that you have to keep, no matter how tight or how deep they are. And one of them is to go through stress, pain, temptation, and pressure with dignity. So when that chaos erupts, you'll hardly find me, but I'm aware, and I was not there, Kay. So if you want to put me in that soup of yours, I'm a bone that belongs somewhere, not in the soup.
Coach, I think my question comes from even after the game. I saw handshakes being exchanged.
I did shake hands.
No. That's why I'm asking you. I'm saying before and after the game. Did you guys exchange?
Yeah, no, we did. Listen, this is professional football, and there's so many things happening, and pleasantries. Listen, there are certain things that you have to. You must have a certain level of chinning up. And you go through, you must do that. Whether you lose, you shake hand. Let me give you something. I know Shupi wants us to wrap up. When a winning coach goes to a losing coach and shakes a hand, a winning coach must have a measure of intelligence, not to be too excited because the losing coach is not at the same state of emotions. So that measure is developed through experience. If I have won a match, when I go to a counterpart the other side, my handshake is modest because I know the guy is reeling. But if I forget that, okay, we won and all that, and then I go to my counterpart excited, listen, the guy is not at the same state of emotions as I. But for you to have that level and the measure, you need to be extremely conscious of everything that is happening around. You win, and then you say, okay, unlucky next time. You walk across him, you come across your player, and then you bubble up. You come across your opponent, you drop a shoulder. But that does not come with ease. So we have to learn to do that. And thanks God, I'm being blessed with that. I know how to manage things based on who I'm up against.
Two last questions.
No, I asked also about the team in terms of how far.
It's not far off, K. I think coming to this match, one would say we were at 35-40%. But what I saw took me to 60. And the red card as well, and how we reacted and all that, I thought we get in there. It's not easy to build a team. It takes time like crazy. Onana goes to Manchester United and everything else changes. Just one player. If you miss that player, it's a different picture. When you are new in a setup, you are the individual who's joining. Then it takes me back to the Bruce Tuckman developmental stages of a club, performing, storming, what, but that's how it happens. You go to a club, it's going to be forming. At some point, it starts storming because people are trying to find their spots, and then it has to be normal. Then it will perform and excel. If you don't go through those stages, I never oloka. So now, I think I'm still at a storming phase, but yeah, fella. Because people need to know how I think, how I quench things, how we work and all that. So as soon as that is normalized, then from the norming, it's into the performing. So we almost say 60%, maybe another 10, go the next match, 80. But football quickly it must click. Otherwise, the door is open.
Coach, so when you come from a Sundowns that has been winning, has been really strong, and then you go to a Swallows that last season wasn't too great, but you were trying to bring in players. What are some of the things that you go with that you say, maybe if we can, take this and this, we can be better from a coaching perspective, and also from how you deal with it?
I was just about to ask from which perspective. From a technical perspective, there's a lot. You may not have the same type of player like you did at Mamelodi Sundowns, but the game does not change. So what you take then from an environment from like Mamelodi Sundowns into Moroka Swallows is a template of where the game is going. If I don't see in Daniel Akpay A goalkeeper who has the ability and the nerve to stop the ball, to see a picture and play according to how the picture unfolds on the pitch, then I am not helping. But all that was happening, if you look at Ronwin, how he plays, he's a playmaker. So if I had been in an environment at Mamelodi Sundowns which then advocated for that, also wing backs that they are playmakers, advocated for that, possession based, how do you dominate areas, how do you add to be superior in whatever form. If you don't add those with you wherever you go, you're bringing no value. And apart from that, I know apart from technical, there's just a lot of other things that I bring with myself. The spotlight, and which then radiates on the players as well. Now it is it's a consequence for them to behave in a manner that is appropriate. So you also bring that element of people being at a certain level where they can be inspired and admired by those outside, that they are role models. We have that responsibility because football is not played only, but football is more of a vehicle to change people and how they live their lives. And these players have to have that effect to others who are outside Moroka Swallows.
Last question.
Thank you.
Coach, Andile Jali, were you disappointed, or it was one of those things of it's just part of the game?
There's two things in life: area of concern, area of change. If you can change something, change it. But if you can't change it, it's just a concern, you move on. And these things happen in football. And nobody knew that this could happen. So whether you get disappointed or not, am I going to drown myself in a disappointment bucket, or I'm going to move on? So you just have to move on. These things happen, but it happened too early. So all that I said is that, okay, Steve, now you are one man down. Then it's a responsibility of the team to learn to play one man down. Because we have not even gone to a stage at training where we're training 2 players down, 3 players down, because you have to do that if you're a coach. Because if you don't train them to have 3 men down, if it happens in a match, you have a problem. Because unfortunately, if it's 4 men down, then it means the game has to be reconsidered. You need minimum 7 players to play the game. So it tells me that at training, I have not even done 1 man down. I have not done. So now when it happens here, what do you do? Then you have to find a way. But again, what do you take out of this? Let's learn how to play 1 man down. First half, perfect. Second half, mistake. And then even up until end of the match, we're still playing 1 man down without stress, even though after changing personnel, you could see we're starting to disintegrate. They did not have the same cohesion and compactness like we did when we had Moroka Swallows.